Hi everybody, it's Alicia with Expressions by Lish, and today is Thursday, July 16th, and it is Coffee Break and Cards with Lish. If you're here and you're joining in, please, say hello. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Yeah, so I can't believe that it's Thursday already. Where did this week go, right? Yeah. All right, you guys, if you're here, just, give me a little chat so I know everything is kosher and everything is working. I believe it is, so yeah. All right. I'm sure it depends on where you're watching from, because I've heard that the smokiness is everywhere. The wildfire smoke. Hi, Lori, surviving the day. Yeah, that's just what I was talking about. Up north, I live in St. Paul, Minnesota, and on the north, up north in Ely, Minnesota, it's also known, if you don't know, the Boundary Waters. There is a wildfires going on right now, and the air quality is horrible, even here. And there's also wildfires in Canada. So they're everywhere. So it's just not Minnesota right now that has really bad air quality. I know Michigan does. I know Wisconsin does. So yeah, it is hot, it is humid, and it is smoky. So yay, happy Thursday. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, depends on where you're watching from. I'm sure you're experiencing some of that, whether it be hot, humid, or smoky, right? Okay, if you are watching, and if you would do me a favor, I would love it if you would like my video or share it. That really helps me out a lot, especially when you like it on YouTube. So that, yeah. Well, hi Tracy, how are you? Yes, it's definitely a good day to stay inside. Hi Debbie, how are you? It almost feels kind of like, when you're snowed in and you get to craft all day. That's kind of how I've been feeling the last couple days. So I have not gone outside, nor will I today. It is just way too gross out there with the smoke and heat and all that jazz. Okay, so today is Coffee Break and Cards with Lish. Every Thursday I go live at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time, and one of those Thursdays out of the month is Coffee Break and Cards with Lish, and that's just kind of a free-for-all. I might show a treat box, some type of 3D item, a fun fold, a technique, whatever. If there's something that you would like to see done, I would be more than happy to do that for you. So yeah, today is that day, and we are making a fun fold card, one that is new to me. I've made something similar to this, but not exactly like this. And this card I saw Karen Titus. She is the Stampin' on the Back Porch demonstrator. She's in Minnesota demonstrator. And I saw a reel when I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and I saw this fun fold. I'm like, and anything that has a and she was using the olive flutter, and anything that has a butterfly, I just am like drawn to it, so I instantly stopped to watch, and I just knew I had to try this card, and I thought how perfect to share it with you guys for Coffee Break and Cards. Now, when I saw her make the card, I knew instantly what set I wanted to use, and that was Birthday Song. Okay, so if you do not know what, I'm going to switch my camera so you can see both myself and my desk. There you go. And this is the card, you guys. Oh my goodness. These flamingos are hilarious. I absolutely love it. And you use the flamingos, you've got to use Stampin' Up's Flirty Flamingo color, right? So yeah, this is called a easel pop-up card. And basically what it is, if you would have the card this way, it would be like a Z fold card. okay? But we're going to turn it and we add a little mini card to the inside, and you have this little thing at the bottom. This right here is how your card will display. That's your easel right there. So that is what is called a pop-up easel card, and I just thought, how fun is this? I did make other ones. We are going to use this one today, demonstrate how to make the card, but I did make some other ones so that you guys can see. It's a pretty fun fold. Yes, Lori, you know, these I just did use the walruses for the first time out of this set, and oh, even those are cute. Okay, so this is fun for fall, and I did look at the scarecrow, and then there's a little sunflower. I cut off the stem, and then I added a little embellishment in the center and made a little sunflower on, well, her hat. And then I used the new embossing folders that come 3 in a set, and these are the leaves, and then the new in color gingham DSP. And what I did here for the contrast is I just flipped the paper over because it's 2 different designs on each side. And then this is the card. See, this is the sunflower I was talking about. And then you just go like this, and it says, "Hey there," and then there's that little bale of hay. Isn't that cute? And then it says, "Hoping your day is wonderful." So that's one that I made. And then I made a Halloween one. I used the Oh My Fright bundle, and I used the ghost and the boo. I mean, look at how cute is that. And then the little easel says trick or treat. The inside says Happy Halloween. And I didn't put a piece of DSP here, but you absolutely could. And then it just pops up with the trick or treat. Isn't that cute? I love how they display. When a card displays, I am just all over it. Oh yeah, you know, Tracy, I thought of you whenever I see gingham, I always think of you. Yeah, the scarecrow, I cannot wait to make more cards with that scarecrow. I might have to do a class to go with that. So here's the Halloween one. And then I used the pretty poinsettia and made a Christmas card with it. And I used that kind of, I can't think of what it's called. It's that in color pearlized or shimmer paper for the leaves, the peaceful pine. And then this is Bright Christmas Wishes. And then I did Most Wonderful Time of the Year. And I have not put anything on the inside yet because I didn't know what sentiment I wanted on the inside. And then this is how it sits. Just like that. Yeah. Halloween card, yeah. I know. And I just absolutely love these poinsettias. This is the first time for me using this. It's called Pretty Poinsettias, and oh, you guys, it cuts the most beautiful detail in the leaves of the poinsettia. And I know my camera's not the best, but it's really another good one. Okay, so for this card, I'm just going to kind of leave that right here. This is the stamp set, by the way. It's a standalone stamp set, which some people kind of just pass those by because there's no dies. But there's just something for me that I absolutely love, just a stamp set. I like to just put the stamp, the ink on the paper. There's something about that. Okay, so I have got some things cut out ahead, but we are going to basically build this card together. And when you're on my email newsletter, you will receive the PDF instructions in the email newsletter. That will go out probably Saturday, if not tomorrow. And you'll have the PDF instructions for free. Okay, let's I'm just going to set this over here. Okay, so the first thing is you're going to take a piece of black cardstock and you're going to cut it 8.5 by 5.5. And then you're going to take that piece of 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock and you're going to put it at the 2 1/8 and you're going to score it. And then you're going to score at 4 1/4. And that is a basic Z fold card. Okay, then I'm going to take another piece of basic black cardstock, and I am going, this is cut at 3.5 by 7, okay, and this you just want to score in half because this is going to be your little mini card, and when you score that in half, that's at 3.5. Okay, so we have those pieces. It's a pretty simple fun fold, I think anyway. Okay, so we are going to fold this up to make our Z, and we're going to fold this down. Okay. Exactly, Lori. That's all there was stamps. And, you know, I think that's kind of why I like it so much, because it's just kind of going back to the basics. Okay, so we have our Z. You see that? Okay. Then this is our mini card that and we're going to just fold and burnish that. Okay. Then I've already cut my DSP, but you're going to need to have a piece of DSP for this fold that's 5 1/4 by 4. You'll need, if you would like, you can do one piece of DSP, or you can do one for, you know, one here, one here. You can do all the same DSP, you know, whichever you like. This this is the Brights Painted Pattern DSP, and this is Flirty Flamingo. And then I cut one, this is the other side, and this is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Then I cut 2 of these strips. This is Artisan Sketched Garden DSP, and these are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Then I cut with Flirty Flamingo a banner. Now when you're making your banner, you don't want it to go any longer than 3 1/4 or 3.5. And then I use the Stylish Shapes dies. I use the largest one to die cut a square to stamp our flamingos on. And then this is the inside of our mini card. This is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I just have a little scrap of basic white here because I am going to stamp the little quote bubble and hey, and I'm going to fussy cut that out. All right. So first things first, I am going to put my DSP on my card base. So what has everybody been up to? Anything exciting? Not so exciting? I haven't really been up to much. When it's like this, I don't go outside. And I love to be outside, so it's about killing me. Hi Mom, how are you? Okay, so now I'm going to take my other 2 panels of DSP, and now this is that, you know, just black and white. This would be really cute. If you wanted to, you could sporadically color in the flowers in Flirty Flamingo. That would be cute too. Okay, so we're just going to put some seal on the backs of this DSP. Now this is considered the front of the card. And we're just putting that there, and then we're going to put DSP or seal on the back of this piece of DSP. And I love the polka dots. And then this is how the card will be, and then this is what it will be like when you open it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my mini card and I'm going to put the DSP on the front of that, and I'm going to use the other side of this, so I'm using the smaller polka dots. in the Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to put that on the front of our card base. And then I'm going to stamp on this, so I'm not going to put this on the inside quite yet. Okay, so this is for the inside of this. We're just going to set that in there. We have our things that we need to stamp on. Still breathing? Well, that's good, Mom. I'm glad. I know it's a little bit harder today. Okay, so for our easel prop, this is a stylish shaped die banner, and I am in Flirty Flamingo, and I am going to stamp my sentiment. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. And you know, it depends, I suppose, on the on your family, but we've never sang this song, and I think it's hilarious. That this song, not that we don't sing it, but okay, so I'm just going to stamp this right in the middle of this banner. Okay, so we have that is done. And then I'm going to take my square from the Stylish Shape dies, and I'm going to ink up my my mom is thanking Lori for the birthday card. Lori sent my mom a birthday card, so I was just reading what she was chatting about. Okay, so I inked up in, and now I use Tuxedo Memento black ink. You can use the hybrid ink, whichever you prefer. And then I am just going to get, they do fit on here, but it's a pretty close. So we're just going to stamp our flamingo, and oh, those flamingos are just too cute. Then I'm going to take the little music notes, and I'm going to stamp those also in black. And we're just going to kind of go up in the corners. Well, we're not kind of, we are going in the corners. And you might not get all your music notes on there, which is okay. Okay. Then I'm going to take my piece from the inside. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. And we are going to stamp Happy Birthday in black. And I'm just kind of picking a spot. I don't want to go too low because I want to be able to write a little note there. Then I am going to take a Flirty Flamingo, and I am going to stamp the word clap. Clap, 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 it says. Is this something that your guys' family, is this birthday song? I never heard of it until this stamp set. So we have our clapping, and I put my black away, but I still need it. Because here we are going to stamp our little bubble, our little quote bubble or cartoon bubble. All right. I just love this little thing. So cute. So cute. Okay. And then I am going to, in Flirty Flamingo, okay, now I'm done with this. I'm going to stamp the word hey. I'll have to show you guys when we're done. My sketch card uses the walrus from this set, and I finished it today. And then the word hey. And yeah, it's really cute. It's such a fun set, you guys. I love to color, and yeah, it's just really cute. All right, so first things first, let's take our blends, and we're gonna use Flirty Flamingo because you have to use Flirty Flamingo. Let's see, Lori. Debbie, never heard of it. Yeah, I hadn't either. I heard this is something that is done at Stampin' Up! Home office. Oh, yeah, probably. I bet it is. I know Melissa talks about it, but I think it just kind of, this is your birthday song. It isn't very long. And you go, hey, or something, or hey, this is your birthday. And then you're clapping while you do it. Clap, 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 and that's it. That's the birthday song. So, all right. So I am going to start with my dark, and I didn't do traditional blending. I just kind of picked where I wanted the flamingos to be darker and lighter. So just kind of basic coloring, and I always color in a circular motion, and I try not to go to the very end of the black line, because these are alcohol markers, and they will spread isn't the right word, but they will saturate into the paper and move. So and not a ton, but I just try not to go all the way to the edge. And we're going to give their beaks some dark here. You could definitely use the bullet tip, because see, look at, I just went out of the lines. Okay, and then on their legs, it's so funny, these knobby little knees. I'm just doing their knees in dark, and then I'm just kind of taking and going like this, just wherever, for dark and light. Just like that. And then I'm just going where the feathers are, the lines of the feathers. Okay, I think that's good. Now we're going to go with the light. And again, I do a circular motion. And that just kind of puts them together and blends them out. And if you want to get a little bit closer up to that line, you sure can. I try to leave a little bit of white space, because I've learned from several demonstrators and people that have art backgrounds that you should always leave just a tiny little bit of white. It makes it look more natural. You do not have to, by any means. You guys like to color? I love to color. I always have since I was a little kid. I just love it. I remember one year for Christmas, and I don't even remember how old I was, I got this like huge coloring book. It was so big, like let me put my hands down, you can't see them, like big coloring pages. It was so cool. So yeah, I love to color. And these flamingos, you guys, are so funny. And you can just tell they're singing. Singing away. Okay. So now I'm going to go with my bullet tip. And I'm just going to go right down the leg like this. Like I said, I'm not using this in the traditional sense for blending. I'm just using them to color. And I'm going to go over their feet. Okay, I am going to ground them. So, I mean, they can be floating, because I don't know, do flamingos fly? I don't even know. And I'm just going to take the bullet tip of the light Pool Party, and I'm just going to go underneath their little web feet here. We can ground them, and they doesn't look like, looks more dimensional that way too. All right. Lori loves to color, but if I need to use a lot of different blends to achieve a look, then I'm not interested. Yeah, I know that about Lori. I try not to use too many different colors, but like you can see, here's one. But, you know, sometimes I gotta use them all. Okay. Yeah, the new gel pen is awesome. Yeah, you could use it like whiteout, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take this little quote bubble, and I'm just going to fussy cut this out. And remember, when you're fussy cutting, you move the paper like this, not the scissors. And I mean, I know the scissors is moving, but you're moving the paper as you cut. Whether you're left-handed or right-handed, it's tricky. When you're left-handed, it's even trickier, because of how the scissor is and the way you hold stuff. And If you're left-handed, you get it. Okay, so this I think I need a little bit more of a trim on. Okay. I don't mind fussy cutting. I don't like to do a ton of it. And this is, to me, the hardest kind of fussy cutting because it's small and it's round. And I'm going to try not to overdo it, because then what happens is then I keep cutting and cutting, and then before you know it, there's no outline left. Alright, so we have that done. And let's put this together. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of our flamingos. Doesn't that look cool? I think that always looks cool when you turn it over and how they, you know, go bleed through the paper. I think that's just kind of neat. Let's see, great tip on fussy. I never knew that. Tracy, which part, where you move the paper, not the scissors? That is one way. When I learned that, it was like a light bulb went on, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, so much easier. I want to say it was Jamie Babarsi. Watching her fussy cut is like mesmerizing. I love watching her fussy cut. Okay, so we are just going to center this on our mini card base. And then I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put seal on the back of this. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to open this up. Well, actually, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to close this not all the way. And you want to make sure you don't want to go all the way to the top, but you don't want to, you know, you want to be able to hide your little easel. So that's how I do it. And then you have this. Okay, and then I'm going to take my inside of my card and I'm going to put some seal on that. Yeah, always move the scissors. And I never liked fussy cutting. We'll have to try your way. You know, Tracy, I think it really does make a difference. I think that you'll have to let me know if you try it, what you think. Okay, we're going to put this in the inside of the mini card. And then when you're doing your easel sentiment, you want to keep your dimensionals towards the bottom so that the mini card has somewhere to tuck into. And I'm not being crazy about it, but I just try to keep it close to the bottom. See how it gives that little bit on the top here. And I'm just going to use 3. So that, and then we're going to peel the backings off of this. Okay. And then what I do is I know I want to center it, and I don't want it to stick out below the card. So I'm just holding it here and I kind of open it, and I don't set it completely down, but I just kind of put it in there, and then I look to see, yeah, I think that's a good spot. That's how I do it. I'm sure there's like some, not scientific way, but better way to do it. So then you see you hid that. Okay, oh, we can't forget our hay. And I am going to put a dimensional on the back of this. Okay. And we are going to put that right here. Okay, and there's our card, you guys. See how simple that is? It really is just, and there it sits. I think that is so neat. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Maybe if I turn it this way. Probably not. It's kind of hard with the camera view. And there it sits like that. Oh, embellishments. Always forget, and you definitely, these flamingos definitely could use a little wink of Stella. And then I'm going to use the Ray of Dots, and I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo ones. Because, I mean, kind of have to, right? Okay, so I'm going to do, on the bottom, I'm going to put 3 on. And I'm going to put a big one here. And then I'm going to take a middle. Right like that. And then a little. Right there. Then I'm going to go up here. I'm going to put a middle and a little. And I need to change my pick tool. My putty is all kind of wonky. It's at the end. Okay, so now we have our embellishments. What do you guys think of this? I think it's really fun and really cute. And two, like always, if this isn't enough space to write your note, you can always put a piece of basic white on the back for more writing space. So this is it, you guys. This is our fun fold card for Coffee Breaking Cards with Lish. Here are the other ones that I made. I made one with a Christmas one with the pretty poinsettias. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Oh, thanks, Tracy. And this Halloween. And then we have the fall card that I made. So yeah, this really, it can be used for anything. I really like it. Oh, you're welcome, Lori. You're welcome. So I was saying that I used the walruses to make my sketch card. And I have a Facebook page. It's a private group. It's called Expressions by Lish Stamping Circle. And I host a sketch challenge once a week. And this is I haven't posted it yet, so I'm going to post it when I'm done here. This is my card. I use those, I think that's a seal, that's a walrus, and then these are the little puffins. And then I did the This Is Your Birthday song. It isn't very long. And then I did the clap, 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 clap. And then I put a little birthday hat on one of the puffins. And then I put the happy birthday on the inside. And then I used Las Lagoon for my color. And the DSP is the Subtles. I never can remember this. Subtles Painted Patterns DSP. And then I used the Perennial Postage die cut. So yeah, I did cover the seasons. So yeah, I did like summer and fall, Halloween, and Christmas. I didn't do spring, but... Alright, you guys, thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. And I said this at the beginning, but I guess I'll say it again. If you could like this video or share it, or if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, that always helps me out a lot. So yeah, well, thank you guys so much for joining. I love to craft and chat with you, and I'm glad this went just a half hour because Stampin' Up, I don't know if any of you have signed up for their Pretty Poinsettia class that starts in a half hour. So I wanted, if anybody is doing that, I didn't want you have to go back, have to worry about not making it to the Stampin' Up class. And that's at, 2 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 3 o'clock Central Time. So, all right, you guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.